What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi there. So I think it's safe to say that we finally got all of the Tesla Model 3, the new 2024 Model 3 trims, because they kind of rolled out in waves. I think it was January 9th when Tesla first unveiled the newly re-engineered, remodeled Tesla Model 3 refresh, and that was the rear wheel drive and a dual motor long range, or dual motor all wheel drive. And that was it for about 3 months. And then towards the end of April, they unveiled the Performance, which was eligible for the 7,500 tax incentive. And then later on, they revealed a rear wheel long range version. And I want to kind of discuss, now that we have all the trims out, and I right here have the all-wheel drive long range. I literally pre-ordered the day it was announced. So I'm going to kind of go over which one is probably the best trim and why I kind of picked up the one I did. And one of the reasons, obviously, is because, well, the other two of them weren't available. But let's first go to Tesla's website. And I love how this has just the internet browser. So we're going to go to tesla.com/model3, and we're going to take a look. So right here, this is kind of misleading actually, because they're also adding the 5-year gas savings. So what we're going to do is, first of all, I'm going to turn that off. So base price for the rear wheel starts at $38,990. Then we go up to the long range rear wheel drive, which is $42,490. And then we have the long range all-wheel drive, which is my model, which actually went up by like $3,000. It was like $44,000 when it came out. Now it's $47,490, as well as the Performance all-wheel drive, which is $54,990. So let's start things off with the rear wheel drive, and you can see how these stats change. So rear wheel, we're getting the least amount of miles, 272. Long range rear wheel, 363, which is the most. Then we have my model right here, 341, the long range all wheel drive, but in reality I get like 333. That's obviously, it depends on how you drive your vehicle. And then the Performance all wheel drive, which is estimated 303 miles. And then obviously 0 to 60, it gets faster, higher the trim you go. So if we go long range rear wheel, 4.9 seconds. If we do rear wheel, just rear wheel, 5.8 seconds. Mine is 4.2. But here are the prices. Now, you also have to take into effect that now there's 3 models that are eligible for the 7,500 tax incentive. So that in and of itself is going to bring the price down. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn this back on, so it shows this price, right? But we're going to kind of go into customize. So let's first take a look at the rear wheel, which is not eligible for that incentive. And because of that, it still comes out to a price of $38,990. So no need to go in there. Then we go to long range rear wheel drive. We're going to go to customize. It's going to get that $7,500 off. Let's go right here. We're not going to finance. We're going to do cash. It does get that $7,500 off, but it also adds the $5,000. So let's add $5,000 more, and it looks like we're going to be getting this for $34,990. So a $35,000 Tesla Model 3 is available, and if you have tax or state incentives, then you may get more. Some states are offering like $2,000. New York offers like $500, for example. But $34,990. That's great for long range rear wheel drive, and you're getting the longest or the highest amount of miles. Then let's go to my model right here. So $47,000 is cash, but if we do customize, and let's go right here again, it is a little bit misleading, I think. I kind of wish they got rid of the gas savings. But if you add the gas savings, it comes out to $39,990. So pretty much $40,000 for my specific model. Then we do the Performance all-wheel drive. We go here into customize, and we go one more. And let's take away the $5,000 savings. So let's add that, $47,490 for this model. So not bad for the performance, 47,000 for the performance. But I want to answer the question, which one is the device, or I guess device, but which one is the vehicle for you? Here's the thing. If you're just planning on doing daily commute and all that stuff around town, and you don't plan on going on long trips, which still you can go on a long trip with the regular Model 3 rear wheel. But if your main thing is just for daily commutes and all that stuff, this is a great choice. However, keep in mind that this is actually more expensive than the long range rear wheel, which I would recommend more than the base tier. This one comes out, this is the $35,000 model. And because it is available, or it's eligible for that tax incentive, $35,000. And also the fact that it gets the longest range, 363 miles of range, 125 miles an hour, or top speed 125 miles, and 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. Now, I would recommend this for those who want to pay $35,000 and get a Tesla for $35K, and for those who want to have a good amount of mileage. But keep in mind that this is rear wheel drive. So if you live in a place with the harsh winter and whatnot, like where I live, where it's winter and you need a car that's all wheel drive, then this is the car you don't want. And I was actually discussing this with a group of friends when this model was revealed. This is probably great for especially those in the US, like for those who live down south that don't really see too much snow. But for people who live like northeast that get harsh winters, then yes, I don't think this is going to be the model for you, the trim for you. I would recommend getting the all-wheel drive long range, which comes out to $40K, $39,900, $990, so like $40K, which is the model that I have. I think this is the model you should pick up, especially if you live in the northeast. You have those harsh winters, and you're still getting very good mileage, 341 miles, 0 to 60 in 4.2. It's great. Like, I can talk about it because I'm driving the long range and the all-wheel drive model. I love it. I'm happy with my choice. Yeah, when the long range rear wheel was announced, at first I was like, man, I kind of wish, I could have bought a car for $35K rather than paying like $44. But all-wheel drive for me is better, and I'm super happy with my car. And I got it early, so I was able to kind of start my Tesla channel earlier than if I had ordered one right now, and I have to wait even longer. So I'm happy with my choice. But yes, if you live in harsh weather conditions, I think long-range all-wheel drive is going to be that vehicle for you. And yes, this car, specifically this model I can speak on because of experience, it goes well on long road trips. And I have videos on my channel. I went on like a 400-mile road trip. I went on a 180-mile road trip. I am planning on, hopefully, if I get the chance, to do another road trip very soon. And I will document that as well. But point is, you can take this on a long road trip and you won't have any issues whatsoever. And I'm pretty sure that's applicable for all the models, but this one specifically is phenomenal. It works. It's great. Now, performance is for those who just want a fast car, fast Tesla, 303 miles. It's still pretty good, 163 top speed, and 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. And this is the only trim that's getting the exterior and interior changes. So you're getting some much better, like sportier seats. You're getting carbon fiber right up here on the dash. You're getting some changes in the fronts and the backs. You're getting like brake calipers. You're getting a spoiler in the back. So you're getting some really good sporty upgrades with your Model 3 performance. And this is actually the model that I wanted, but when this wasn't unveiled in January, and I also was looking for a car and I really wanted to have a car soon, I went ahead with the long range all-wheel drive. I figured that was going to be the best option. And the downside of that was it was not eligible for a tax incentive at that time, but now it is. And I think the reason why is they're using different types of batteries. But I've also seen some posts on Reddit and whatnot. You can call in Tesla and you can you're still eligible technically to get that $7,500 tax incentive. If you look at like the IRS website, it pretty much says like this specific model 2024 from January 1st, 2024 till like December 31st, you are still eligible of getting that $7,500 tax incentive. So I will look into that even further, and I'll get back to you guys on a future video if I'll be able to, if I'm applicable or if I'm eligible to pick up that vehicle. But yes, honestly, there's a need for each different trim, and the trim that I would recommend to most probably is going to be the long range all-wheel drive. And that's because it's just the all-wheel drive is, you're going to find it so much more useful. Long range rear wheel drive, and it's hard to say rear wheel drive, is great, and you get more mileage. You get 363 miles of range, but that's only 20 miles more, and it goes 0.7 seconds slower. And I mean, the 4.9 is still pretty quick, but I still think the long range all-wheel drive is a superior trim. And now that it's eligible for that tax incentive, it's a 40K car. I think it's a great deal. So wherever you live, I think this is great. Ultimately, this does come down to preference on which one you personally would prefer. If you're looking for more sporty, obviously sport, this performance is going to be that car for you. But I'm super happy with my choice of getting the long range all-wheel drive. Let me know in the comments down below if you have the Model 3, if you're going to pick up the Model 3, which trim do you plan on picking on, which one do you have, why did you pick up whichever trim you picked up. I'd like to know. Let's meet in the comments down below. Lots of Tesla content is coming very soon. My goal here is just to share my thoughts about my Model 3, but also share my thoughts about Tesla in general, and kind of grow the channel, grow the community, and hopefully I'm able to kind of review more Teslas in action, like a refresh Model Y when that comes out, or the Cybertruck. I've finally seen some Cybertrucks more and more here where I live, and maybe check out some other models as well. Also, I may make a dedicated video, but Tesla Robotaxi unveiling has been pushed to October 10th of 2024. And also, Elon Musk did state that they're on track to release a more affordable Tesla by next year, sometime, I think in the first half of 2025. Tesla Roadster production starts in 2025. It's going to be a crazy year, so definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel. Lots of content is coming, but I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.